On today's show, the LA Clippers are in the Summer League semifinals. How did they get there? And a preview of the Intuit Dome. Fans have been checking into the arena, and I gotta say, the first returns look insane. Gonna be talking about it all on today's Locked On Clippers.
You are Locked On Clippers, your daily Los Angeles Clippers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Yes, sir. You are locking in with the Clips. Thank you for making Locked On Clippers the first listen of your day. Your team every day. I'm your host, Darian Vaziri, born and raised in LA and going into my 20th season as a Clipper fan this fall. You can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod and subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA sports, and NBA content. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts, including YouTube. Let me know in the comment section if you went to the Intuit Dome tours, what you think of it, and what you're thinking of this Summer League team. We're going to preview the semifinal game as well, in which the Clippers have advanced to. So the LA Clippers, undefeated in Summer League, 4-0, going to the semifinals. They sealed that with a victory over the Utah Jazz. You know, there's not much I like better than beating the Utah Jazz, whether it be in Summer League or in the actual league. 105-88 in Vegas. They are now 4-0, and we will play in the semifinals on Sunday against the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that we have some history with when it goes back to, you know, the actual Clippers and the actual Grizzlies in the early 2010s. But that's going to be awesome. How did we get there? Well, you know what? I think it's been the defense, the switch everything, 1 through 5 scheme, the attention to detail, and the effort level of Dahntay Jones's ball club has got the Clippers here. You know, you obviously have Moussa Diabate, who's playing in his third Summer League. You have Kobe Brown, who's playing in his second Summer League. Jordan Miller, same thing. And then Cam Christie. So 4 guys that the Clippers drafted within the last 3 years that are playing. And not only have they been fantastic, but just the other guys in this game like Elijah Harkless. I mean, how many things can I say about the way he played? Hitting followaways off the catch, playing really good pressure defense, picking up full court, getting into his, you know, getting into the guy he was guarding, fighting the dribble. You know what I'm saying? Really fighting the dribble. You got to love to see that from Elijah Harkless. Clippers won it by a score of 105-88. It was not a pleasant start in this game. We were down 19-13 after the first quarter. It was very hard to score. We weren't getting good looks. Moussa lost the ball twice. And, you know, the fact that we only had 13 in the first quarter, I mean, Summer League scores are a little bit lower, but that's particularly low. And, you know, with Summer League, everyone's playing super hard. Everyone's looking to get a contract. Everyone's looking to stay on an NBA team or get on an NBA team. And people are playing their hearts out. A bunch of young athletic guys who aren't the most polished offensively, but they're playing with a high level of defensive effort. And, of course, they don't have the best chemistry offensively. So it can be sloppy. It can be, you know, a lot of bricks at times, but it's high effort hoops. It was 19-13 after the first quarter, but after that, the Clippers outscored Utah in every quarter. Second quarter was 30-21 LAC, third quarter 27-24, and then the fourth quarter 35-24. And as I said, to me, it started turning around when we started getting stops. Defense leading to offense, steals and buckets. That's when we regained the lead in the second quarter. And I thought Moussa Diabate did a hell of a job running the floor. You know, the one thing about Moussa, all the effort things, all the little things, he's going to do those. He's going to offensive rebound. He's going to roll hard to the basket. He's going to run the floor and sprint down. I mean, he's going to contest. He's going to close out hard. All those things he does well. As I've talked about ad nauseum in this podcast and in the last couple of weeks, or should I say the last couple of episodes, it's all about Moussa's offense. Can he finish around the rim well enough? Can he get a mid-range jumper at least? Something to get him on the floor offensively, because defensively, he has potential as a small ball 5 in terms of the way he moves his feet. He can switch onto the perimeter, and you saw some of that in this game. Some really great defensive possessions, and that's why this is all possible to me. Like, my takeaway of all this is our defense is the reason why we're here. Of course, Jordan Miller's been fantastic, and I'll talk about him in a sec. But the defense, the switching 1 through 5, that attention to detail and tenacity on that end of the floor from the entire team, led by Dahntay Jones and, of course, anchored by Moussa on the court. That's been the reason why we're playing so well. It's an inspired group right now. Really is. And as I said, Moussa was running the floor well. Hudgens and Moussa were really leading a 22-4 run at one point to make it 35-28 in the second quarter. Hudgens. Did I say Hudgens? I think I did. But second half, I thought you saw a little bit more from Kobe Brown and Jordan Miller. Jordan Miller had 19 points in this game, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He did have 3 turnovers, though, but he was 7 for 13 from the field, only 1 3-point attempt, missed it, 5 for 7 from the line. And the one thing I have to say about Jordan Miller is that he just does such a good job of getting downhill, attacking with force, and going into contact, and does a very good job finishing through it as well. He's got that, I don't want to say SGA-like, because I've seen some people make comparisons, and I don't think he's anything like SGA overall as a player. And I just think he's got the length, but he's a little bit bigger, it looks like, than SGA. But what he has is that fast to slow deceleration where he's going downhill and then he'll slow down and take those 2 big steps, absorb the contact, and finish. So that's an impressive skill that he has. And I love the way he draws fouls. And as I said, when you go into the contact, so any young hoopers listening, you go into the contact, you are more likely to get the foul. I know you might come out with a couple of bruises, but it's the price of, trying to get 2 buckets or 2 points. Jordan Miller's been phenomenal all summer league long. And it's really a welcome sign for us as Clipper fans because we know the future's bleak in terms of draft picks and stuff like that. But Jordan Miller is showing that maybe there is an NBA player there that we picked at 48 last year. I mean, the way he has played in this summer league, you had Brendan Haywood in commentary just giving him all sorts of praise. He had a very nice weak side cut in the second half that I remember. I mean, just doing a lot of really good little things. And then Cam Christie in this game, again, it's kind of similar with him. Letting it fly, shot very well in this game. My favorite bucket that he had, he was 3 for 5 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3, 8 points. My favorite shot that he had was a pump fake, step into like a 18-footer, swish, looked really fluid and beautiful. So, like what I'm seeing from Cam Christie overall, definitely plays hard and isn't a guy who's afraid to shoot, and he also seems like he has a good head on his shoulders. Again, I'm just assuming a lot of the IQ stuff is there, even though it's been a small sample size, because of Max Christie. And he doesn't seem that different so far from what I've seen. But the more hopefully we get to watch him play in the NBA and I get to really compare, but I think Max Christie will be getting more minutes significantly than Cam this season, just obviously because of the experience. Kobe Brown, though, I want to end it with him. He was our leading scorer in this game, and my last episode was it 2 episodes ago, where I apologized because I was like, you know what? I don't want to be too quick on Kobe Brown. Maybe he will get into the rotation and compete this year. And I've always said he doesn't have too much wiggle in his game. He's a little stiff, kind of a wide guy. But I don't know. I may have spoken too soon on that because some of the stuff he was showing with the handle in this game was like really impressing me. He had in the fourth quarter, or I don't know if it was late third or in the fourth, he was coming downhill and he had a nice crossover, looked really fluid, smooth, got to the basket, finished with an and one. He had 2 and ones in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. It might have just been second half. One of them where he went around the basket, went for the reverse. I mean, what I've loved to see from Kobe Brown is, he's getting more on-ball reps, but he's really just looked, especially the last couple of games, very commanding on the ball. Looked like he's experienced. He is a little bit older than these guys. Of course, there are some guys even older than Kobe Brown in the summer league, but he just looks so poised. You know what I mean? He looks like this ain't a big deal to him anymore. He can score on this competition. He's bigger and stronger. He can do his thing. Now, what's left to see is can he create, because I keep saying he's not going to be able to create shots at an NBA level, and I still stand by that take, but who knows? I could be wrong. I mean, he's showing a little bit more of a handle than I thought he had. So, big time win for the Clippers. I thought Kobe Brown was exceptional. 22 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists to lead the guys. We shot 50% from the field. Utah shot just 40% from the field, but they did shoot better than us from 3. They shot 36%. We shot 30%. But we shot 11 more free throws than them. 27 for 38 from the line. Clippers win it 105-88 and advance to the Summer League semifinals due to their hard-nosed defense. And by the way, Moussa Diabate had some crazy shot in the fourth quarter off the glass where he just threw it up. I could not believe he hit that. But really great stuff from the guys, and I'm looking forward to the game against the Grizzlies on Sunday. But before we talk about that, fans have been checking into the Intuit Dome. Media has checked into the Intuit Dome. Videos have been surfacing. I got to give you an update because you will not want to miss this. All right, Clipper Nation. There are some things to be excited for about this team next year. Derrick Jones Jr., a new leaf without Paul George, a full training camp with James Harden, Chris Dunn, Nico coming back. But the best part about this next season for me, and I think it's going to be the highlight of our season, the Intuit Dome and our rebrand. We have new colors. The cursive is back. The red is back. I just want to go splash the cash on some merch right now. But I'm trying to wait to see who's going to be on the team because, like, the one nightmare I have when it comes to buying jerseys is you buy the jersey of a guy before the season begins, he gets traded. He never ends up wearing that jersey. So, like, all the people that have the OG mid-2000s white Clipper cursive or, like, the one before we rebranded to those Lob City uniforms that bought Blake Griffin's jersey and he only wore it in that preseason game against New Orleans where he got injured. It's just so funny seeing that. Like, he didn't really actually wear that jersey in a regular season game. So, right now, my first jersey I'm going to buy is if it's a Zubats this upcoming season. I'm going to get a Zubats jersey. Probably the white one. I've never bought a white jersey in my entire life. So I would love to get at least a white basketball jersey. I've never bought it. Although I did actually when I was really, really young. And I was, I wanted a Kobe jersey because Kobe was just so sick. Of course, I was still a Clipper fan this whole time. But I got a Kobe jersey, the white alternate one. And it's too small for me now, but, like, I'm happy just given what Kobe became and everything that happened with him, I'm happy I do, even though it's a Laker jersey. I'm happy that I did end up getting a Kobe jersey as a kid because he was, like, the guy growing up. We had CP3, we had Blake, but he was a constant, like, superstar in LA. But, of course, it's always go Clippers. Point being, Intuit Dome merch. We have our own. Let's just start with the first feature that just is coming to me top of the head. We have our own store, our own merch shop. Team LA, it's a fairly big store. I can't lie to you. The only thing that's cool about it, it's called Team LA, and it has some nice merch. Compared to other NBA stores that I've been to at other arenas, it's god awful. And I'll tell you the simple reason why. They just don't have enough stuff because they have so many teams. They have that revolving thing. If you ever go to the Team LA store, they literally just put the Lakers stuff on one side, the Kings side on one side, and they have this revolving thing in the wall that they'll display. It's like you go to the team store and you're trying to get a Terrence jersey, someone who's a prevalent part of the team that's literally the ambassador of these Intuit Dome events 2 days in a row, which by the way is very fitting that Terrence Mann is the spokesperson for this stuff, and he just seems to always put his neck out there or speak up for the team when they need a player to do certain things, community outreach, all that stuff. He really is a true Clipper in every sense. And God, I like the sentiment. Of course, he's a solid basketball player. There's obviously that conversation around, is Terrence is gonna improve as he peaked as a player? But man, like there's few players I've ever wanted to like be a Clipper forever. Like I couldn't imagine having him somewhere else at this point. Like I really couldn't. He's one of us. And I was trying to get a Terrence jersey, and they just didn't have more than Kawhi or Paul in the Team LA store. Like, it was just whack. The fact that we have our own store that's going to have the potential to get anyone's jersey on it, special. How about, like, the one thing that's going to be cool and interesting is, like, all of us that have been to Clipper games at Staples Center for all those years have our routines, have our parking lots that we go to, have our spots after the game that we go maybe have a drink. Like, all that stuff. Our section, our routine, our food place we like to go to, all that's going to change. And we got to find our new routines. And it's special to be a part of that. I think the one thing that's super cool is just the stadium itself is beautiful. It's behind me right now if you're watching on YouTube, but it's just beautiful. The panels, the red netting, the entrance with Steve. I forgot that quote, but it's like a Steve quote. I'm so mad I didn't pull it up for this, but it's just Steve Ballmer, he recognizes to me what this is about. And it's about, he said it himself, it's like, I hope this is an arena for decades to come. He said it himself that ownership is like, you just hold the team for the fans for a while until the next guy takes over. And I think Ballmer just understands that, like, players come and go, GMs come and go, owners come and go. The fans are forever. And that's why I always prioritize fans so much, because we've put up with so much as fans. This arena is built for the passionate Clipper fan. There's the wall. The proximity between the lower bowl and the upper level is so small. There's no bad seat in that building. It's built right up in the wall. Like the wall is just built one row on top of the other. It's so close together, but you also have the leg room. The hallways and the concessions look good. There's no random pillars there like Staples Center just randomly. Because the Staples Center walking area in the lower concourse is very wide and nice, but the problem is those pillars are just randomly there. I mean, this place looks insane. The AI on the Halo board, that it was finally activated. You have all these stats. You have the instant replay. I mean, it looks insane. You can fire out the t-shirt cannons from the Jumbotron, from the Halo board, so that if you're sitting in the 200 section, which is the upper level at Staples Center 300s, you can get a t-shirt too. I mean, how many of you, like me when I was a kid, sat in the 300s, you see the t-shirt toss going on, and you're like, that cannon's never going to reach up there. They can never throw it this high. Now, you got like a freaking cannon shooting you t-shirts. I mean, the decibel levels on the seat, the USB charger, the toilets, like in every single bathroom and all this. And apparently there's, fountain drinks and sodas right outside the bathroom to make it convenient. Oh, I went to the bathroom. Let me just get a drink on the way. Because remember, what good old Steve wants to do is minimize the amount of time that you're not in your seat. It's about basketball. It's a basketball arena, not a hockey arena. And I love Staples Center from the bottom of my heart. But this place, I didn't even go these last 2 days, but it's taken my breath away. I can't wait to hear the sound of the fans, the same fan base in a new arena. There's never been a better time to be a Clipper fan in this sense. I can't wait. And for sure, on my own channel, I'll be doing a whole tour in the preseason. I will be going around that whole place. It's going to be something else. But coming up, gonna be looking forward to the Clippers Summer League game, semifinal game against the Memphis Grizzlies. Gonna be talking about that coming up. All right, so the Clippers are involved in the semifinals of the Summer League. Memphis is also undefeated. They have not been a no-joke. They're a no-joke team. The game is at 11 a.m. local time on Sunday. By the time you're listening to this, maybe it might be over already. Hopefully, we've advanced to the final. The Memphis team, right now the line is Memphis minus 5.5. So, okay, what makes them so favored? I haven't watched any of Memphis' Summer League games. Let's take a look. I see. They have Gigi Jackson and Jake LaRavia. These are two guys that actually played for the Grizzlies last year. And Zach Edey. Okay, now I see. And Scottie Pippen Jr. Wow, Scottie Pippen Jr. had 17 points and 11 assists against the Pelicans. Impressive. So that's why it's going to be tough. We're dealing with a team with several NBA players on it. I mean, Gigi Jackson last year, he really burst onto the scene and made an impact on that Memphis team. Expect him to get some solid burn off the bench for the Grizzlies this year. He averaged 15 points a game in the NBA. So that'll be no joke. I think the key for me is, can we get away with switching 1 through 5 on Edey? Because I haven't actually been watching Edey, but he's gigantic, right? If we switch, he might be a guy that'll actually expose us in the post. And that's been one thing that we haven't seen is, I've mentioned it several times, we keep switching everything, but we don't get exploited because there's not that many guys that, play back to basket and they're going to expose smaller guys in the Summer League. But Zach Edey is one of those guys. So that's going to be really interesting. I would honestly, I know it's Summer League. I mean, I know it's still NBA talent, but I think that's going to prove a little risky. Unless, look, what we could do is we could switch everything on Edey. The second he catches the ball, we double hard and then put the defense in rotation. Because I think our guys can do a good job of scrambling and getting out there, closing out. But I would say that's an option. And I wouldn't be surprised if Dahntay Jones goes to that and doesn't concede his switch everything philosophy. Then the other thing we could do is, I wouldn't play drop coverage, by the way, because Moussa's just not big enough. He's not going to deter guys at the rim, even though he's a good shot blocker, but he's only 6'10". If we hard hedge and, rotate to take away that role from Edey and then force them to shoot threes, I think that might be the move because these teams don't seem to shoot threes well in the summer league. So that could be the other alternative, just thinking out loud about the defensive scheme. Offensively, I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing. Jordan Miller, keep getting downhill. I think this team, this is my basketball philosophy in general. And if you look at a lot of the great teams in NBA history, particularly the greatest, most successful dynasty in the history of basketball, if you had to, pick 3 words to describe them to me, Boston Celtics in the 60s, which I've studied a lot, defense to offense. That's my basketball philosophy when I coach. That is, to me, how you can really help score points because you don't always want to be playing against a set defense. You know what I mean? Getting stops, getting out in transition, forcing turnovers. That's when I think this Clipper team's at their best. That's when so many teams are at their best because it's just basketball nature. And I think that is the key for this team. But it's going to be exciting. The fact that the Clippers have a chance to compete for something, for an actual trophy, is special. And, that's not something that we get to experience much. And I know it's just the summer league, but enjoy it, man. And it's great for Kobe Brown, for Jordan Miller, for Moussa, for Cam. These guys are getting experience. They're getting a chance to show that, you know what, we got some NBA players here at the Clippers. It might not be all doom and gloom for the future after all, besides the fact that we're moving into the most bust-down, incredible stadium in the league. Are you kidding me? Are there any other things I'm forgetting? I feel like I'm forgetting so many things. That stadium is just nuts. Of course, the high school jerseys all over the concourse. What else? The toilets. I can't wait for, not to go to the bathroom, but just to see all this stuff. In action. It's going to be so surreal, man. For people that lived in the sports arena, that went to the sports arena, they probably felt similarly when we got Staples Center, wow, this is so cool. But to have our own spot and to have all the players embrace that, the Clippers, the LA Clippers, have the best arena in basketball. And even Laker fans know it. And all the corny-ass jokes are going to fly around. Oh, another place where they won't win anything in. Oh, so many toilets because that's where their game's going to be. It's good to see another place where the Lakers will have 2 extra home games per year. At the end of the day, hopefully they're using Laker fans' salty tears when they make some. Oh, the food. That's what I was going to use. Laker fans' salty tears for the food. The empanadas look pretty good when I was looking at people taking pictures of the food. People were talking about churros. Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Ballmer changed my life. He's changed our lives. Man, I just want to see one day, I don't know how long it's going to take, but Ballmer standing at midcourt with that big gold Larry O'Brien trophy in his hands, and he looks at everybody and goes, "Ain't this pretty cool?" Like he said in the press conference, we got 2-on-3 or something ridiculous. I mean, could you imagine if we won a championship, dude? Ballmer, he might spaz out on the podium. Oh man, see, now here I go again, thinking about the Clippers winning a championship, and I might be 30 years old when it happens, and here we go again. But all I gotta say is, I'm gonna spam this right here, right now. Saturday episode, Locked On Clippers. The LA Clippers. This ain't a hot take, but to some it's an extremely hot take. To Clipper Nation, it shouldn't be, because this is why we're fans. The Intuit Dome will be where we win our first championship. It better be, because I don't think I'm going to be alive to see another stadium. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DimeDropperPod. Subscribe to my own YouTube channel, Dime Dropper, for even more LA Clipper, LA Sports, and NBA content. And Locked On Clippers is free and available wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure you're listening on audio if you can't watch on YouTube. And, of course, it's supposed to be for audio first. So anywhere you go, you can find that wherever you listen to your podcasts, even at the gym, if you're actually willing to listen to your boy at the gym. I know there's probably more pleasant things to listen to, but is there anything better than Clipper basketball talk? I don't think so. The age-old proverb continues, go Clippers, Summer League, Sunday, baby. Let's get it.